Hey, my name is Michael, and I'm about to tell you a story about how my dad went a whole week of hating me until he found out what was really going on. When I was 16, my dad remarried to a woman named Jasmine. She was 10 years younger than my dad was, and my dad was already younger as it is at the time. She's really pretty, tall, brown hair, and looked like a supermodel. She moved in with us after about a year of seeing my dad, so she became a big part in me and my father's lives. She usually drove me to school, picked me up from practice, and even helped us with cooking, because my dad was a terrible cook. After about a year or so, after Jasmine moved in with us, my dad had to take a business trip out of town. The day he was leaving, me and my dad were practicing my swing in the backyard. As usual, we would do a warm up and use the wiffle ball so we didn't break any windows. After a couple rounds, I gave my final bat everything and hit the wiffle ball into the tree. This kind of happened a lot. I would have to climb up the tree, get the ball, throw it to my dad, and jump back down. This time didn't really go so smoothly. As I jumped back down, I heard a crack from my right ankle. It didn't really hurt at first, so I decided to suck it up and help my dad pack the car. After we got it all packed up and said our goodbyes, I went back inside with Jasmine. That's when my ankle really started to hurt. We decided to just put ice on it and see if it would get better instead of rushing to the hospital right away. I did have a game on Saturday and did not want to miss it because of an injury. Turns out it got a little better with ice, so we just left it alone for the next 2 days. Saturday rolled around and it was time to start getting ready for the game. Only thing was, my ankle still hurt from a couple days ago. I had a really hard time putting on my baseball pants because I couldn't bend my ankle that far. So I asked Jasmine for help. So I sat on the bed while she helped move my ankle through the skinniest part of the pant. After we got all ready and set up, we went to the game. The game went okay. My ankle still hurt, but for some reason, my dad wasn't there. He was supposed to be, but I just assumed that his flight was late or something. After me and Jasmine got home, we found my dad sitting on the couch. He was in a really bad mood. All he said was that he didn't want to talk to either of us and wanted to be left alone. Both me and Jasmine went to bed thinking that he just had a bad trip and didn't want to talk about it. The next morning, I saw him sitting outside and went to tell him about how my ankle got hurt earlier this week, but is getting better. When I went outside, he instantly got up and went back in the house, like he was mad about something. I have no idea what I could have done. I started to think of all the things I've done wrong that he hasn't found out about. Maybe it was the time I took his Porsche for a spin around the block. Or maybe he knows I snuck out last week. A day later, I finally got the courage to go up to him and ask him what I've done. He finally looked at me and said, "I know what you've done. I know what you've both done," and walked out the front door. I looked at Jasmine, and she looked just as confused as I was. Jasmine went out to go talk to him. When my dad came back in, he asked me about my ankle. I told him that I hurt it and had a hard time putting my pants on, let alone playing in the game on Saturday. He started laughing and said he felt like a complete idiot. Turns out that he came home earlier to surprise us, but he walked in on Jasmine helping me put my pants on before the game and saw everything. I'm sure you can imagine what he thought when he saw that. Just wanted to tell my tale. Thanks for listening.